Welcome everyone to the No Sell Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 20, coming to you on the 15th of July, 2026, and it's very hot. Today it's just myself and Alan. Coleman started a new job, bless him, so we'll be trying to get him to come back as soon as possible, and the same for Rebel. So you lucky people just get myself and Alan today. We'll try to keep it streamlined, because it's only me and Al. So we did do a podcast last week. So what's happened in the last week? Obviously, there was SmackDown on last Friday, and obviously there was Raw on Monday, and we've got Saturday night's main event coming up this weekend, and then SummerSlam is the weekend after, isn't it? It's the first.
Yep. I'm actually quite annoyed about that because originally that was my long weekend, SummerSlam. I'm thinking, I can watch Saturday and Sunday. But my schedule's changed, so now I can't. I can only watch Saturday. I can't watch Sunday live. I have to wait till I come home from work.
You're going to miss Sunday.
I have to avoid all social media.
You're going to have to, yep.
Which is very difficult. If you work in the office, I kind of work in, and there are some wrestling fans in my office.
You're going to be in trouble, dude.
Yeah. I'm going to have to walk around with my earbuds in.
Interesting as well, because the last rumor I heard, it could be Punk and Cody closing for night 2. Could be Roman and Rollins go night 1.
Okay. They must have something big planned. Then I know they got some. There's rumors swirling around about how they're going to close night 1. Well, how they're going to close a Roman and Seth match even. So if it's night 1, then it'd be a hell of a close if the rumors are true.
Well, Triple H did some kind of a conference call or something where and the reason why people think that it might close a show because he has called Punk versus Cody the main event. Now, whether or not it was a little bit of Freudian slip, that's the terminology, I don't know, but that's what people are reading into it because it was Triple H who's come out and I think I can't remember the exact quote. Like I say, this is kind of third-hand information. I haven't watched it live, so I've heard of somebody else talking about it, kind of thing. And apparently he was asked, the main event, and he referred to Punk versus Cody as the main event rather than Seth versus Roman. So that's why it's like, so that might be what they closed the show with then, the weekend with. But we won't know probably. Hey, look, we all know Roman Reigns' contract. We all know the ego of the man. We all know how WWE panders to Roman Reigns' every whim. I'll be surprised if Roman doesn't close the show, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Right. So, in chronological order, SmackDown. CM Punk's first SmackDown as a SmackDown superstar and as obviously the new world champion.
Yep. That looks good on him.
It does. Got a good pop. It did make me. I did watch that segment live. I did not start for the rest of the show, but once I knew that he was opening the show, I watched the segment with him and Cody live. Now, I think they could have done more. I thought it was a little bit pedestrian.
Yeah.
I want these two to really go at it, and maybe that's not going to happen in their first match. This part of the story, because I'm assuming it's going to be multiple matches. So if this is the first of maybe a 3-match, maybe trilogy, right? Then I suppose they've got to start off as friends, and they've got to start off kind of not being too hard on each other. But what I really want to see, even if it's CM Punk, who has to become more of the antagonist, which could be because he's probably, in my experience, he's probably better than Cody Rhodes as a heel. I think Cody can play a heel; he has in the past, but I think Punk showed me that he's better at it from what I've seen. So if one of them is going to become more of an antagonist, it probably will be Punk, unless they do fully do the whole Cody Rhodes heel turn, which I'm hoping they do. But if they do, I don't think they're going to do it right away. That could be much later down the line. So right now they're being very kind of chummy to each other, and it's lacking a bit of that punch. But maybe I'm expecting too much too soon because it was only their first promo battle, right? If they even want to call, that's what I mean. I don't even think I would call it that.
It's like a little face to face.
Yeah. And so I thought it was a bit timid, but I think maybe it was meant to be. I think that if they're going to tell a long story, they can't start blasting each other and really getting into it on the first one, because at the moment in time, storyline wise, they're still kind of friends, right? That won't be. I don't think that's going to stick. Right, but right now they're at the friend portion, so that's why if it's going to be a long storyline, and I could see this storyline going to WrestleMania, not all in one go, but I could see this being the first match, and I could see their last match being at WrestleMania next year. I could see that because I'm assuming it's going to be Roman versus Obafemi. That's what I think. So they're going to need another match for night one. So I could see Cody versus Punk being night one next year. To end
so what do you reckon? Oba catches in his world title match opportunity for WrestleMania?
He could do, or he could win the Rumble because he could win the Rumble.
Boo.
Yeah. I think Obafemi versus Roman Reigns. I think that's more or less in my mind. That's 100% what they're going to do.
So what they'll probably do is they'll probably do Oba later in the year. He'll say, "Okay, I've dealt with Brock now. I'm going to go and do. I'll now challenge Roman for the world title." He loses that. And he says, "Okay, well, back to the bottom of the pile. Wins the Rumble. Back to WrestleMania and wins it." God, sucks.
Yeah, I could easily see him doing that. I'm pretty convinced that Obafemi wins the title at WrestleMania. Then again, I thought Bron Breakker. Then again, look how things can change. I thought Bron Breakker was going to win it at WrestleMania this year.
We'll get to when we get to Raw.
We will talk about poor Bron Breakker and that career trajectory. So the Punk versus Cody thing. It was a bit timid for me because I know both guys can do so much better, but I think that the where they are in the story, I think that's to come. So I'm probably being impatient. But the problem you've got is that there's only 2 weeks left to build it.
That's the problem.
So
that's always been the problem with these monthly pay-per-views. PLE events. There's this, you can't build things. You need to build. You remember back in the old days, showing our age now, like we always do. Sorry, everybody out there, but we grew up watching proper WWF
old school
and WCW stuff. You have 4 pay-per-views, and there'll be a massive build. So you have between WrestleMania, you've got May, June, July, and then end of August you get SummerSlam. So you got like a 4-month build for a feud.
Yeah. I mean, they hinted at this. Obviously, after WrestleMania, you did have the Punk Cody confrontation, so they did hint. That was the kind of breadcrumbs. But then, of course, Punk was gone for 2 or 3 months, and now they've left themselves with a very short window to actually properly build for the match. And that's why I think that this isn't going to be the only match, because I don't think they've got enough time to tell the story that probably Cody and Punk, who are 2 very old school wrestlers, 2 very good old school storytelling wrestlers as well, who probably want to tell a proper 3-act story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so this is the start. This is not going to be a one and done match. It might be the only match for now. I'm not saying that they're going to wrestle on the next pay-per-view after SummerSlam. That might not happen. But I mean, the overall storyline is going to be probably I would think 3 matches. I imagine they'll both pick up a win each, and then probably Cody wins. I'd imagine that is kind of Punk's role. That is Punk's role now. I imagine Cody will probably win the feud whenever the 3rd match is. So yeah, that was a bit timid for me. I was surprised, Alan, not to see Sami Zayn, because I thought Sami Zayn, he's become an interesting character. I really wanted to see his reaction to losing the belt, because I thought, it's going to become unhinged, isn't he? He's going to become this unhinged character.
We've kind of already seen, haven't we, when he did that little,
a great little promo,
that little promo thing after he lost. Yeah. And we're told by Nick Aldis that he's taken a mental health break. Yeah, but he's back this Saturday. He's back this Saturday for Saturday main event. So it'd be interesting to see how he plays his character. So of the 4 matches they've got announced, that is the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. We'll cover after Raw, but we'll cover up. So nice. Right. So that was the main takes for me from Smack. I know other stuff happened, guys, but look, I'm Alan, bless him, has obviously got more patience than I do, because I can't. I struggled to sit through the pay-per-views. I struggle to sit through the pay-per-view, especially with the adverts nowadays. I can't manage it. I can't handle watching it live. I just can't. I have to watch the highlights.
As I said before we came on air, I go to work in the mornings. When I come home on a Saturday, I will go to my bedroom, so I've got a TV in there, and I'll put Netflix on, and I think, you know what? I'll watch SmackDown. Normally, I've got my phone in my hand, so I'm kind of glancing up and down every now and again. But it kept my attention. SmackDown for the most part. I don't know how it managed to keep my attention, but it did.
Jade Cargill, that's what kept your attention, Alan, because she's that bitch.
She's that bitch, yeah. Green as goose shit. So okay, what happened on SmackDown? Balor got a win. There you go. Finn Balor got a win. He beat Tama Tonga, former Bullet Club members.
Oh yeah, he's kind of feuding with him now, isn't he?
Yeah. That was not a bad little match actually. I thought it was okay. It was about 9-10 minutes or so. Good little back and forth. Yeah, I quite enjoy the match. It's probably the best match on the card. And then you get the worst match on the card. You get a confrontation with Jimmy trying to call out let's say Samu then, trying to call out Solo Sikoa. Yeah. But Royce Keys comes out, and of course Jacob Fatu's in the ring. Royce and Jacob have got a bit of a history. They go back and forth a little bit, and Jacob's like, you know what, I'm not interested, and walks away because Jimmy's trying to pull him in, and he's like, no, there's no we here, I'm gone. And that turns into a Royce Keys versus Jimmy Uso match. Of course, Solo Sikoa turns up halfway through, and he's mocking him from behind, and I always find that hilarious. I think Solo's actually quite a funny guy.
He is funny.
He's actually quite funny. But the match ends with like one of the worst spears I've ever seen. Jimmy Uso, don't use a spear, please. Don't use it if you can't do it properly.
Why is he using it as well? Oh God, are they scared? Is Jimmy and Jey Uso scared of having their own identities? Do they feel they've got to copy Roman Reigns in everything they do? Can they not have their own identities?
Pretty much. They don't seem to. There's nothing unique about them. It's. I know they look alike, obviously, because they're twins, but their movesets are more or less identical too. Super kicks, spears,
splash off top. Yeah,
splash off top. There's nothing. Nothing can tell them apart. Although somehow Jimmy's still the worst one. Big Jim, he's the worst one.
He's the only one who's never won anything. I mean, Jey won the world.
He's just a tag champion. That's it.
Yeah.
Just a tag champion.
I'll get to the whole bloodline stuff when we cover Raw, Alan, because none of this shit makes sense.
No worries. There was an interesting segment actually, and it was involving CM Punk. He was backstage doing an interview.
Yeah.
And Candice LeRae turns up with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano's still planking. Poor Johnny. Johnny wrestling. Yeah. Why is he still doing that? And Punk actually calls him out and says, look, he goes, whatever the hell this isn't working. I want to see Johnny wrestling again. And I thought, yeah, we all do. We want to see Johnny Gargano wrestle again. Great wrestler, Johnny Gargano.
Triple H has dropped the ball with Johnny Gargano, which for me is surprising considering how well he was used for the most part in NXT, especially when he was a babyface, especially the Ciampa feud in particular.
Yeah, that was an amazing feud. That was like that's proper black and gold NXT classic.
Triple H must just feel that he doesn't think that Johnny Gargano can appeal to the masses, so he's not prepared to treat him the same way on the main roster as he did on NXT, which is very odd considering the popularity of guys like Daniel Bryan, who isn't that much bigger than like
True
Johnny Gargano, and look how popular he became.
Very true.
I don't know.
So an interesting segment. Of course, Charlotte Flair was on there as well. She was involving herself in the Alexa Bliss Jade Cargill match. I know we saw the pictures after the match where Alexa Bliss had busted her arm.
I know it's a gimmick. It's fake.
Yeah, I did point it out. She's double jointed. This is all pointed out during her Ronda Rousey kind of feud.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey bending her arm in like sickly, directions and stuff. So bless you, Alexa Bliss. Get well soon.
I think am I a bit biased because I think Alexa Bliss is one of the hottest women in wrestling.
She is an attractive young lady. Yes,
she's very, very attractive. There's always one or two. There's always, I think, going back, Alan, Miss Elizabeth, she was quite pretty. Sherry, a bit less so. Sherry, though, I did love Sherry, but not for those reasons. But I love Sherry because she took all the moves the blokes did, and she took them well. She did. She was a bump machine with Sherry. Then you had like Sunny and Sable, Stacy Keibler. So she started her career as a manager for was it TNA, wasn't it? Yeah. So there has been attractive women in wrestling, and Alexa Bliss kind of fills that role, and Liv Morgan too. I think Liv Morgan's pretty close as well. So there's always, they're all mostly blondes though. So anyway, and Alexa Bliss, so maybe I'm a bit biased because I fancy her, but even so, I am fed up of her just being the fall guy or girl for Charlotte. That's all she does. She just gets beaten up so Charlotte can get revenge. That's exactly what happened. Pretty much that's been her role the last 6 months. She gets beaten up so Charlotte can then feud with the person. I think she deserves a bit better, but there we are. Charlotte, gonna Charlotte. So anything else in Al? What was the main event on SmackDown? Bloody hell.
The main event was a non-title match for Carmella Hayes facing US champion Trick Williams with Little Yachty in his corner. Again.
Oh yes, Corbin. Right.
I love the fact that Carmella Hayes actually called out Little Yachty, previous in the show, and basically said he's just, he's like a flash in the pan. He doesn't really. He's a feature. That's it. He doesn't really do anything. And I thought, yeah, good. That's all he is. But like you just said, Nick, Corbin's back. I was concerned because I heard rumors when they mentioned Baron Corbin a few weeks back.
Same here.
I heard that he was the body under the sheet in Danhausen's lab, and I use that term loosely. And I thought, oh, really? You're going to bring the man back? The man who had an amazing NXT career. He has one of the best finishing moves ever. The End of Days move is amazing. And only one person's ever kicked out of it. One. And he takes generally one to put people down.
Who kicked out of it?
Oh, God, who was this? Put me on the spot. I think it was...
I can't remember either. That's why I was asking. Because I can't remember.
It was during his Happy Corbin run.
It wasn't Cena, was it, or Reigns?
It wasn't. No. He actually never managed. The only time I think he ever hit on Cena was during a. He was part of a stable, and it was done just after a match or during a promo. If he's ever hit, I'm sure he's hit Cena with it before, but he's never had a match with Cena. Thank God. So Cena didn't ruin the career of Baron Corbin. So I was actually happy that he's being injected now into the US title picture. And I thought, okay, do you know what? That's a good level for you.
Do you think, though, Alan? I mean, he changed his name. What did he call himself on the Indies? Bishop something.
Bishop Dyer, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe because he's come back, and I haven't seen it. I've seen pictures of it. I actually haven't seen the segment, right? But he's come back, and he I think I would have liked him to at least to have looked different. I mean, there's not much you can do with their hair, bless him, because obviously he's lost his hair. So there's not much. I mean, he used to have, when he first debuted, he had long hair, but obviously he was losing it. And shock horror, it was Vince McMahon who said to him, just shave it off. So there's not much you can change about his hair. But do you think that maybe he looked a bit too... Could he have come back with a bit of a different... like Austin Theory? He at least came back. He came back with he shaved his head. Austin Theory, he came back with facial hair. So at least he looked, just try and freshen up the look.
Yeah,
do you think Baron Corbin... Do you think he could have came back with a different look? Because I looked at him and I just thought to myself, what's changed? What's changed between when you've left and when you come back? You look exactly the same. You called the same. Everything's the same.
His gear looked a little different.
Okay.
In terms of facial, yeah, maybe he could have grown a beard out, maybe.
Just something.
But I like the fact he hit End of Days twice. He hit it once on Trick Williams, and then he hit it on Kamala Hayes, or vice versa. I can't remember which way around it was. Both executed beautifully, and the two guys in question took it well. Little Yachty didn't get one, which is a shame, but hopefully he might get one. But again, he wouldn't sell it anyway.
No, he just got up like he did after Zayn's finisher. Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's going to be programmed into the US title. Can I see him taking the belt off Trick Williams? Probably not, no. But whether or not he will be in the US title match or something, I mean, that would be quick. That would be kind of an instant title match. But I suppose they don't care. But, that can happen in wrestling.
I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, we did get a little sample of his theme song when he was walking back up the aisle, sort of staring back at the ring.
Is it the same one, or is it one?
They changed it.
You should go back to his original, Alan. Why? Just go back to his original, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they need to give him his old original OG theme. Give him that theme back, because that theme was amazing, and it really sold his character as this dangerous loner. That's what he needs.
I think, Alan, do you think that his first gimmick when he did have the kind of long hair, he was losing his hair, but he wasn't bald. He had long hair, but he was losing it. But he was like a biker, wasn't he? He had like a biker gimmick almost.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Like a lone wolf kind of biker. I thought he looked his best, and I thought he had a bit more of an aura. As soon as Vince got him to shave his head, and then started giving him these. Do you remember Constable Corbin?
I was about to mention that. Actually, Constable Corbin, yeah, that's part of the authority, wasn't it?
Oh my God, Alan! And he came out and he was in like he's wearing like waistcoats and he was corporate, and I just thought, oh look, it's Corporate Kane again.
Yeah.
He was destroyed from as soon as he became Constable Corbin. He was destroyed.
The moments in a wrestler's career, they do one thing and it just wrecks them. For me, I've always said this: when Kane took that mask off, career gone. He just went downhill completely after that. And Corbin, soon as he ditched that gimmick in NXT and became Constable Corbin, I think the moment Corbin set foot on the main roster, that was his. Yeah, mind you, that's NXT in a nutshell.
That's a lot.
Most NXT guys who step foot in that main roster. Why did you do it? I'm sure there's probably guys and girls back there in NXT who probably thought, you know what, I don't want to go to the main roster. I'm actually quite happy where I am.
Well, they know when they go to the main roster, it's literally a coin flip because that is the success rate. You get certain guys like Obafemi and stuff like that who they just kind of it works for them. And then you get a whole bunch of guys like Karrion Kross is a great example, Johnny Gargano, Ciampa, guys like that, guys who are massive stars in NXT, and they come into the main roster and within a couple of months their job was.
Yeah, that's it. And then there's people like Shinsuke Nakamura he was riding really high. You know, won that Rumble some years ago. He thought, he's going to win the world title from AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Never did. And after that, no.
Done after that.
He was done after that. He got a IC title. Was it IC title? I know he definitely got the US title.
Do you want to know the killing blow for Shinsuke Nakamura, Alan? I think losing to AJ at WrestleMania, I think he could have survived that. You know, he could have.
Yeah, because there's no shame in losing to AJ Styles. No.
He lost to Jinder Mahal.
Oh dear. Yeah,
there we go. He got a title shot against because that was the year. That was the year of Don't Hinder Jinder. That was Jinder's and Jinder. I remember Jinder was racist to Alan. Jinder cut that his racist promo about him being Asian. And then everyone thought, Nakamura's gonna get his revenge. No, Jinder just beat him.
Yeah, I think I
remember
that.
Yeah.
Thanks to WWE for nicking my idea, by the way. But there we go. And putting the title on Jinder Hole, that was my idea.
I read an article the other day on about he did an interview and he's saying that he thinks he's got unfinished business and he's going to come back. It's just like, dude, the delusion's real with some guys. You imagine Jinder Mahal coming back. I mean, to do what, mate? You're a terrible wrestler. You're terrible.
Sure. He was only world champion, so because WWE just signed a deal with India at the time.
Yep.
To put WWE Network in India. That's the only reason that
trying to break the market in India.
Yeah. And within a month or two, he dropped the title to AJ Styles, and he dropped it to I think in the UK. I think I'm sure AJ Styles won the title.
It was in the UK. Okay, let's go to Raw. I've seen more of Raw than I did SmackDown, so I'm actually going to read out the results for Raw. I have actually brought them up. Okay, so the first match, Alan's favorite wrestler, Io Sky, defeated Roxanne Perez. I wish they'd stop jobbing Roxanne Perez out. I wish they would.
I wish they would.
She can't win a match, that girl. Jimmy Uso defeated Royce Keys to obviously follow on from what happened on SmackDown.
I don't know what happened with me. I actually don't remember that match. I think I saw the
Royce Keys won by DQ.
No, it's DQ. That's it. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, because Fatu got involved.
Only 3 matches on this show, but this is because the main event was a gauntlet match. So that lasted nearly an hour. So the gauntlet match was for the IC title shot at SummerSlam. Yep. And it was Chad Gable who ended up coming on top. The other people were Joe Hendry, Dominic Mysterio, the young'un, Alan's favorite young'un, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee was in the match.
His performance annoyed me, Javon Evans. There was a point where he was in the Accolade, Rusev's in a camel clutch.
Yeah.
and he fought his way out of it initially. And I thought, no, you're about 50 pounds soaking wet. You can't push off this 280-pound man. No. The illusion is broken if you do that. Make Rusev is meant to be this powerful heel. You know, the Bulgarian brute he's always been called. And I can't believe that there's some, guy who's like a stick of spaghetti could gets out of this. Of course, he struggled. He gets kind of out of it at first, but thankfully Rusev reapplies it, and that's it. But annoyingly, he doesn't tap. He just passes out, thinking, no.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Bullshit. In the end, Chad Gable won by eliminating Ethan Page. He actually went through Rusev and Ethan Page. So big baby.
Rusev actually, after Chad Gable done a very beautiful victory roll to beat Rusev. Classic. Run Rusev to the corner turnbuckle and climbed it onto his shoulders, and then victory rolled like a Bret Hart special. And I thought that's a good little finish for that.
Yeah.
Rusev then applied the accolade to Gable after the bell. And then Ethan Page, for the whole Ethan Page entrance, the accolade is on.
So they did give Gable, they have given him a bit of a push, of course. He'll face Penta for the IC belt at SummerSlam. I'm not sure what night. I'll talk about that in a sec. What I wanted to talk to you about, Alan, at least initially, is I am convinced, and I've been convinced, and this follows on from my rant over the Bloodline, because the Bloodline are the best example. But I'm convinced that, at least nowadays, there is no babyface and heels, because I don't understand why so many babyfaces are fighting babyfaces lately. And I'm not saying you can't do the occasional match. That's okay. But I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to give you some examples. Right. So CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Babyface versus currently babyface versus babyface. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Even though Roman Reigns acts like a heel, is a heel to me, but storyline wise, they see him as a babyface, right? Or at least the crowd do. So Roman Reigns versus Rollins, babyface versus babyface. Your two main events are all babyfaces. That's an issue, right? That says you have no heels. But it gets worse, Al. Penta versus Chad Gable. They're both babyfaces.
Yeah. I was thinking this when they have like a little stare down, because Penta came down during the commercial break after the match, and they have a little stare down and have a little shake hands and all that. I don't know what it is. I can see Penta turning heel. Penta's a good heel. I've seen some of his heel work in AEW. He's a good heel. He can be a good heel.
Doesn't he sell too many masks though?
That's the thing. But then again, you just rebrand the masks as a heel version, and you still sell them.
I mean, that's the reason why Rey Mysterio has never turned heel, even though he did in WCW. After he took the mask off in WCW, he turned heel for about a year. But in WWE, he's never been a heel.
That's very true.
I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying that
he turned heel for me a couple of weeks ago when he didn't put Ethan Page over. But there we are.
Well, yeah, him personally might be a heel. Ask Dominic, he's a deadbeat dad. So you got another babyface match, Penta versus Chad Gable, but it gets worse. They announced a 6-man tag. Alan, make this make sense to me, right? A 6-man tag. The Usos and Jacob Fatu, who, although, as me and Al said, more or less act like heels, the fans see them as baby faces, even though they're heels. To me, fans see them as baby faces, and they're fighting LA Knight, who is also a baby face, Royce Keys, who is also a baby face, and the only one out of the 6 who you say could be a heel, and I say could be because it doesn't make sense to me, is Solo Sikoa, who was a heel, but I'm not sure he is, because he then says he's going to join the bloodline, doesn't join the bloodline, and saves.
He gives. It's a great moment because he's there and he gives his little speech and says, "You know what? I've missed my family. I've done wrong. I've been stupid." And then, you know what? I acknowledge the OTC, and he puts the one up, and then Jimmy follows suit, and then Jacob follows suit. But then I thought to myself, he's going to turn, isn't he? And then he puts the one finger down, puts the thumb up, thinking he's going to Simone spike him. He Simone spikes Jimmy Uso, and it's the smile on Solo Sikoa's face. It's amazing. It's great. I mean, he's winning me over, so let's go. I didn't think much of him. When he was doing this whole Bloodline 2.0 thing, I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, I've seen this before. But, you know, I'm warming to Solo Sikoa now.
I don't think he's a particularly. He doesn't excite me as a wrestler, but I did think he's got untapped charisma, which could be exploited if they wanted to turn him into
exactly. That's where I'm drawn to him. He's very charismatic.
Yeah,
he knows how to play the crowd. He knows how to play to the camera. So that kind of stuff I love, and I think, you know what? Yeah, if he wants to be a face, if he wants to be like a tweener, even, yeah, I'm down with that.
Well, that's the question, Al. I want you to explain to me, as a veteran fan like myself.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no babyface or heels anymore. I don't know. I don't understand. They're all. I don't get it.
Who can I pick out as definitive heels? Ethan Page, Rusev. There you go. They're definitive heels.
Okay.
Definitive.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll go with that. Okay. I guess the Judgment Day are heels, I suppose.
Yeah, Judgment Days are definitive heels. They're definitely definitive.
Why is it, Alan? Everyone involved in this Bloodline storyline, right? It's like he's an infection. Everyone who's even remotely associated with the Bloodline storyline does not know if they're a babyface or heel. Anyone who is in that kind of gravity, other than LA Knight, who I think's a babyface, I think he hasn't. I think he's a face.
Yeah, I think he's a face. He's just that guy who's just, you know, he doesn't want to be down with the cool kids. You know, not me saying that the Bloodline are cool, because they're not to me anyway. But think of the Bloodline as the cool kids. And LA Knight sees through all their bravado and thinks, you know what, I don't care what they're selling. It's all bullshit. All of it's bullshit, and I'm going to prove it. So he comes out as like or comes across as like the grumpy neighbor, you know, the person that everyone in the street talks about, thinking, oh, fucking what's his face over there doesn't like us, you know, mowing our lawn or parking our car here or something like that. That's how LA Knight is perceived. But all LA Knight wants to do, he just wants to have an easy run. And I'm not saying, you know, he wants things to be just handed to him. Different context. He just wants things to be simplified. He doesn't want this fucking bloodline running around anymore. He's fed up with them. And I get it. I'm fed up with them too. I'm sure you are.
Mm-hmm.
So in that context, I don't even know. No, fuck it. He's a face. He's a face. I'm not going to bother him saying he's a heel. He's not a heel. He's a face. He's a face. He's an absolute face. He's not even a tweener. He's a face. No, he's just. There should be a new category, I think, now. Heel, baby face, and those who tell the truth.
The problem isn't with LA Knight. The problem, as I said so many times, and people think this is just because I dislike Roman Reigns. You're right. I do dislike Roman Reigns. I never denied otherwise. But that still doesn't change the fact that the heel and face alignment for this bloodline stuff makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense to me, and it's featuring into all these other stories, and I'm getting confused with them. Solo Sikoa, for me, on Monday, acted like a babyface.
Yeah.
I don't think he's meant to be a baby. I think he's still meant to be a heel, but because of his actions and the way they went about it, because of how the bloodline acts, they act as heels. So Solo Sikoa kind of rebelling against them, to me, is a babyface thing to do. But because the fans see the bloodline as babyfaces, even though they act as a heels, they didn't even particularly cheer when Solo did it. It was a mixed reaction. I'm not saying they booed, but it was a mixed reaction when Solo Sikoa.
Because the crowd don't know either.
Well, of course they don't.
They don't know how to react. No one does. I mean, I'll boo them. Sure, I will. When I watch SummerSlam, I'll be cheering for LA Knight. I'll be cheering for Solo Sikoa, and I'll be cheering for Royce Keys.
Yeah, so will I.
Because I'm fucking fed up with the bloodline. I can't. This storyline needs to end. I don't even know what they're doing anymore.
They're just
Roman's doing his thing with Seth Rollins, and then you got these guys. What as far as Jimmy Uso is concerned? Oh, we've been sent on a mission to deal with Solo Sikoa. Okay, you've done it. Now what?
The fact that Jey Uso, who was the world champion this time just nearly this time last year, Jey Uso was the world champion, right? I know we're all trying to block it out, but unfortunately we can't. It's in the books. He was a world champion. He won the Royal Rumble. Again, we can't untick these things. So it's happened. That's the way that it is. The fact that he has just become an errand boy for Roman Reigns is such a fall from grace. I'm not the biggest Jey Uso fan. I admit that I liked him a couple of years ago before the Sheet stuff. I actually didn't mind him. I actually thought he was going to be the one who was going to end Roman's title reign. I thought he was the initial choice until Cody kind of debuted. Then it was like, oh, okay, it's probably going to be Cody. But initially, I thought it was going to be Jey Uso, and I was for it. This is years ago. I was for it years ago. I was like, that makes sense. I know the story they want to tell, and eventually I was like, Jey Uso's going to turn on Roman and take the title from him. That didn't happen. Jey did turn on Roman eventually, but he ended up not winning the belt. Of course, they gave it to Cody. But so I wasn't against Jey Uso, but to see Jey Uso more or less, it's like he's hit rewind from like not even a couple of years ago. It's like he's hit rewind to like 6 years ago. He's in the same position being Roman Reigns' bitch as he was 6 years ago. And it's just, it's damaging because this dude has now become a world champion and he's a Royal Rumble winner.
Yep.
And to be reduced to go back to such, I cannot imagine I don't know how Jey Uso feels about it personally. He maybe personally he's fine with it because Roman's his cousin. He still gets paid a lot of money. Maybe he doesn't give a shit. But if I was looking at my career and I'd done all this stuff and then I found myself back in exactly the same position I was in 6 years ago, I'd be like, the fuck did I waste my time the last 6 years? If I'm just doing the same stuff I was doing 6 years ago in exactly the same position, in exactly the same storyline, what the fuck? I've just been spinning my wheels. I'd be pissed off if I was Jey Uso on my professional career. I'd be like, well, I was world champion, and now I'm just a fool guy. I'm just Roman's bitch again.
Yeah, back to square one again. No progression. No straight progression. It's just gone completely full circle.
Anything else on Raw, Alan? Obviously, there was only 3 matches. There's not many matches to talk about. Was there any other segments? I mean, obviously, Reigns and Rollins had a segment. How did you feel about that? It was a long segment.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one. I didn't mind it. I thought it was actually a good segment. It's a good thing when they have these kind of like long-standing rivalries that have been going on for like years. There's a lot to call back on. I like the fact that Roman Reigns called Seth Rollins back to ring, citing that, you know, what are you going to do if you win this title? You're going to be injured again in a couple of months, because that's what happens every single time. He's not wrong.
No.
Seth Glassy Rollins, it always ends up getting injured.
He does, yeah.
I don't know why they keep
pattern.
I don't know why they keep putting the title on him. I really don't. He should not be put in that position anymore for being any kind of a champion. He should just be the guy who now puts guys over. I'm not saying he should job every time, but he should be in near enough the Miz role right now. Because I wouldn't trust him for a run at any kind of a title.
I think Seth Rollins' days of being, I mean, you can say that he's never been the main guy anyway, because he's always, and I'm sure Rollins doesn't like to hear this, not that he cares what I think, but I mean, privately, he probably won't he probably is not very happy about it. But if you think, but it's true, Rollins has never been the guy. He's always been second or third. He's never been the top guy.
Yeah, Roman said that in the promo.
It's true.
He said, "I'm number one. You're always number two."
And it's true. Not on talent wise, Rollins is significantly more talented than Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, definitely,
easily. But
yeah,
it's true. Yeah, I mean, I can't see them putting the belt on. I mean, I think Rollins has got no chance of winning the title anyway. But even if he wasn't injury prone, storyline wise, it actually doesn't make sense to give him the belt back. Yep. So I think he's got no chance of winning it anyway. I mean, but I'm not sure what they do with Rollins. I assume he'll be speared and pinned, and that will finally end this whole. Roman can't vanquish the ghost. He talks about it. Roman's got to vanquish the ghost of Rollins, and so Roman will finally beat him and get the big win, and that'll be that probably. Hopefully forever, if I'm honest, because I've seen enough of their matches, like you, Al. I don't see how they're going to show me anything new. Both men are older, and especially Rollins are their bodies broken down a lot more. Their best days are both behind them physically.
Yep.
Roman, maybe you might say Roman's still in his prime. Maybe, but Rollins has had too many injuries. He can't. He's not once he he can't be what he once was. No. So the matches can't be as good as we've already seen. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
We've seen the best we're going to get from these two. So this needs to be the last one. But I don't know where they go. I don't know what Rollins does from here.
Well, if the rumors are correct, someone's meant to be coming back. very soon.
Not Ambrose.
I believe it when I see it. That's the rumor going around that Dean Ambrose is meant to be making his return. If this is the case, then he will be showing up at SummerSlam. He will cost Rollins the match. Roman can then move on to Obafemi. Rollins can then move on to Dean Ambrose. But I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know I don't even know what Moxley's contract status is with AEW.
I don't think it's up. I'm not 100%. I don't follow AEW that much like you do.
Yeah, really. But I don't think even Ambrose will even come back to WWE. I think he's quite a prideful guy. I don't think he would see WWE as an advancement of what he already has. He's got a good run going in AEW. You know, he's been a multiple-time world champion. He's in a top tier faction. He's got a lot of power in AEW because he's got Tony Khan's ear. He does, and also he won't be able to do all this blood and stuff in WWE. No,
but I know that WWE does have the occasional blood, but Moxley's has blood in nearly all his matches. There's no way that they won't let him do that stuff. So the only thing I would say, the only chance of Ambrose coming back is that one of the reasons why he did leave was because of Vince. It was Vince and some of the things of Vince. Do you remember when Ambrose turned on Rollins last time and he started playing this germaphobe character? You remember this?
Yeah.
When he used to come to the ring in like a gas mask, and he was taking injections and stuff. So and they had him playing this kind of weird germaphobe character, and it was like, and he despised it and blamed Vince for it, and that was more or less the reason. He said it in interviews since. That's more or less the reason he left because of Vince, and obviously Vince isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've just done a quick little search. I can put this to bed right now. He ain't come back at SummerSlam. His contract doesn't run out until next year. So, yeah. So he ain't going anywhere. Don't expect Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam.
I think there's a good chance he'll come back at some point, and he'll come back and he'll make shitloads of money, especially with Roman Reigns and Ambrose.
Oh, he'll come back for money, yeah, and then within a year he'll be shilling DoorDash and Snickers.
Yeah, and after those feuds are completed, he'll go back probably to be in the mid card. Anything else, Al? We've covered the Rollins and Reigns. We've covered most of the matches. We've covered the Bloodline crap.
It's pretty much it for Raw and SmackDown, I think.
Okay, let's move on to the next show, which is, well, obviously there is a SmackDown that's going to be on Friday, but we don't know the matches for SmackDown. I'm sure Punk and Cody will do another promo. I'd imagine Sami Zayn hopefully might make it. I mean, Gunter, we'll talk about Saturday night's main event. So the main event of Saturday night's main event. Have I got the matches here? I do, I think. Right. So there's 4 matches, and that probably is all you will get. You've got. I know Alan's going to care about this one immensely. Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Yeah. Danhausen versus JD McDonough. Right, so you can tell this is a top quality show by those 2 matches.
Yeah, that's been apparent as of Raw. It was turned into a no disqualification match, so expect fuckery to happen.
Okay, that's going to be a comedy match. It's going to end up with him being cursed, and then Danhausen will win somehow after the curse.
Apparently, he's changed his finishing move as well. I think he was using a Shining Wizard.
What, Danhausen?
Danhausen. Apparently, he's changed it now to the Scorpion Death Drop. Now,
what, the Sting move? Okay. Interesting. What else have we got? I know the main event. I'm going to talk about that last. I am missing a match here. They haven't. The site I'm looking at have only put 2 matches. Do you remember the last match, Al?
It is.
Yeah, this site I'm at isn't.
Paige and Brie Bella versus Fatal Influence.
Oh right. Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that one at all.
I don't care. I'm a bit I'm not unhappy because I never thought she was as good as other people at the time, but I did think that Paige used to be a big deal. Time has moved on because Paige was around the same time that AJ Lee and the Bellas were around, right? So time has moved on for all of them. But and the Bellas when the Bellas came back, they haven't exactly done much either. AJ Lee had a bit more of a bigger moment, especially with the mixed tag, right? And then she kind of fell off a bit when she was just feuding with Becky by herself.
Yeah.
So a lot of these women who have come back have had initial big reactions, then it's kind of faded away pretty fast. But I think with Paige, it's been even worse because I think Paige had one night. She came back for WrestleMania. She got a big pop. And then they've just done nothing with her since that.
Jeez, I've just remembered something. It was for Raw, but don't worry, we can carry on with Saturday's main event. We'll go back to Raw in a sec.
Okay.
Because you just mentioned falling off a cliff, and I just thought of something.
Okay. So look, I don't care what happens. I don't. Paige, for me, she had that neck injury. It stopped her wrestling, probably for good reasons. And she's come back, and she doesn't look to be physically anywhere near as in good a shape or strong as she was. And to be wrestling, Alan, to be a wrestler, as you know, you need to be in tip-top shape. You need to be pretty strong. Even the girls need to have lots of muscle,
core strength. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that she looks to me really fragile. And I think it's not her fault. And I bless her. I think that she wrestles like she's really fragile because I think she's probably apprehensive. Which makes sense, right? She doesn't want to injure her neck again and get paralyzed, right? So she's going to be a bit. So then the question is, should they have brought her back? If she's still got that fear, if she still feels that she's fragile, maybe she shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I'm not an expert, but it's just, So I can see them dropping the belts. I'm going to call it here, Alan. Whenever they drop the belts, it might be Saturday, maybe it won't be. But whenever they drop the belts, Nikki Bella will turn heel, and the Bellas will attack her. 100%. That is going to be the story.
Oh yeah, that's written in the stars. That is.
Yeah. And then we can all look forward to a Nikki Bella versus Paige feud. So, and the main event, I think there is a bit more to talk about. For me, this card looks absolute dog shite, if I'm honest. The only thing that's even remotely intriguing is the main event. And if I do end up watching this live on Saturday, and it's a big if, I will probably only watch the main event live. I will probably have it on in the background. And then once I see Punk and Cody coming out, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to sit and I'll watch that match. But the rest of it will be in the background as I probably play Black Flag or something. That's probably what I'll do. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn and Gunther. Should be a good match. All four of them can go. I do think this will sow the seed of Punk and Cody having miscommunication. I actually do expect Punk and Cody probably to lose. I think that they will have miscommunication. And one of them will get pinned, probably Cody, I'd imagine, unless they want to have Punk lose.
Yeah, Punk doesn't mind that, he gets the game. If he thinks it will further the story, he doesn't mind taking a fall.
Yeah, it could be Punk, because I actually expect Punk will probably retain the belt at SummerSlam. I actually don't think he's going to lose it. So they could have Punk, but I expect the heels will win. I expect the baby faces will have a miscommunication, and that will just. And I don't think they're going to attack each other after the match. That's too fast. But I can see miscommunication. Somebody rolls up somebody 1, 2, 3, and then they have maybe a little bit of a shoving after the match in each other's faces, just to add a bit more spice to.
And then build on the following week's SmackDown to.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Anything else about the Sunday's main event? And those are the 4 matches. I know. I think you don't care about at least 3 of them, like me.
No, three of the matches they just belong on a Raw or a SmackDown. Yeah. Granted, all 4 matches could be on a Raw or a SmackDown, but if anyone deserves to be on tonight's main event, it is the main event itself.
It's the only match that deserves to be there. If I'm honest, out of those 4.
Yeah.
It's a 1-match card, guys. It really is.
Pretty much. So yeah, if you're going to tune in, wait till if you're in the UK, wait till Sunday morning. Catch it on YouTube. Fast forward.
Pretty much.
Scan to the last half an hour, and then watch from there.
Pretty much. Just wait until the show's over, and then stay off social media so you don't get a spoiler, and then just go and watch it and fast forward the ads. You'll get through the show in 45 minutes, and you won't have to watch all the bullshit.
That's very true.
Okay, so quickly, Al, it's nearly 8, so we won't spend long on it. Quickly now, as of right this minute, this is a SummerSlam card, okay? We can quickly give our very quick impressions. There will be more added, I suppose, but probably not that many. This is probably going to be a good chunk of them. And the card is as follows. Not sure on the nights, don't have that information yet. But the matches are Reigns versus Rollins for the belt, for the Raw World title.
Roman retains,
Punk versus Cody for the Universal belt on SmackDown. Are you going with there? I think Punk.
I think Punk. I like it to be Punk because I think Cody needs to. I think he needs some time away from the title. I think he needs. I think he needs like another top level feud. So I think he needs to step away from that world title for a while.
He needs to spend a good 6 months to a year away from the belt, I think. Hell in a Cell match, which could end up main event in one of the nights. We're assuming the 2 world title matches will, but you never know. They might think that they need to put Brock, if it is his last match, maybe they think they've got to put Brock versus Femi as
because
one
it's
of the
hometown hero, isn't he, Brock?
Yeah.
So
we'll see. I think. Over Femi's not going to lose again. So
no. And they've already cited the fact that Brock's never lost in a Hell in a Cell, so they've already sowed the seeds of his loss here.
Yeah, we're agreed. Okay, so Alan's favorite female wrestler getting a title shot: Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. I'm going with Morgan. I don't think she drops it yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think Morgan retains because I think they hinted about Roxanne Perez not being 100% with the group, so I think they're sowing the seeds for her to break away. And I think Roxanne Perez might be the next challenger and probably the one who takes the title.
I think there's a good chance of that. I do think that feud is coming, Morgan versus Perez. But Perez needs to start winning some matches. That's all I'm going to say, because now she shouldn't be challenging for anything because she never wins.
Exactly. I know Finn Balor wasn't winning much in the Judgment Day, but come on, she's just become Finn Balor.
then again, Alan, this year we've seen Sami Zayn lose a feud, lose his US title, lose the rematch, and then a month later win the world title. So who knows?
Very true. Very true.
What else have we got? Penta versus Chad Gable. That's his difficult one.
I love Penta. I think he's got a great aura about him. He's got great charisma. I love his moveset. I love his look. You know, when we spoke about what you've got, promo not so good, obviously, because English is not his first language, so I can't punish the guy for that. But I think his time in the US title was over. I think Chad Gable takes it. They actually said that Minnesota is also Chad Gable's hometown.
That's true. And
if Brock's not winning, then Chad Gable will.
Yeah, I think they cracked it.
Yeah, and I think because Chad Gable, they've also mentioned he's never had a singles title in WWE at the moment. So this could be the time it does it. I think So I'm going Chad Gable pin. He's going to pin Penta. It might be like a roll up. I don't think he'll beat him like with his his rolling German suplex move. I think it'll be a roll up. I think it'll be like a really sort of sneaky finish.
I think Gable wins in his hometown and Penta congratulates him after the match, and that kind of ends the kind of arc. The whole kind of like Chad Gable obviously taking the piss out the Luchadors a year ago became Americano.
And then Americano,
and then obviously then he lost the mask and he's kind of gone around apologizing. This kind of caps it, doesn't it? So he wins the title and then he kind of like is forgiven because he won the title clean. You know what I mean? He won it the honorable way and everything like that, right? So that, yeah.
Well, I still think that turns heel at some point. Maybe not SummerSlam, but he will turn heel at some point.
Yeah, he could do it at some point. I mean, they will need a challenger for Gable afterwards. Maybe that'll be Rusev or Ethan Page there. And one more match, even though it's not listed here, we know it's happening because they said it on Raw. The 6-man tag, babyface versus babyface. Who's a babyface? Who's a heel? I don't know. Probably Bloodline wins because it's the Bloodline and Roman Reigns gets what he wants, and if he wants his cousins to win, his cousins are going to win.
I'm going the other way. I'm actually thinking LA Knight's team wins.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm thinking because of Solo Sikoa. I think he's going to get the rub. The Usos don't need a rub. Jacob Fatu probably doesn't need a rub either. I think Solo Sikoa is the one who probably needs it. Royce Keys needs a win too. Since he's started on SmackDown, he's only won one match as far as I can see. I think he's lost everything else he's been in there with.
Yeah, he's another guy who hasn't had a particularly good start, just like him and just like Ricky Saints.
So another AEW guy who's just getting shit on.
Those are the official matches as of now. There are rumored matches, but they've not been announced. Rumors matches, for example, probably there's going to be a secondary women's title match. Probably Sol Ruka versus somebody, maybe Rodriguez or something. That's rumored. Rumored Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill. I do think that one is going to happen, but they haven't announced it yet.
Yeah, set in stone.
So you've got how many matches? 1, 2, 3. So you got 6 matches. So let's say 3 on one night, 3 on. Yeah. So I think there's probably another 4 matches they could announce.
Actually, there could be another match. I think there's going to be a tag title match.
Oh, you think it's going to be Alpha Academy, whatever they're called, American Alpha?
Well, they're probably hinting at Alpha Academy versus the Vision.
Yeah.
God, and this is what I was alluding to earlier.
Yeah, you're gone then. Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it because I'm very depressed for him. Yeah, Bron Breakker, you want to know?
So Bron Breakker, the guy who was being pegged to be a world champion, gets injured, has a little feud with Seth Rollins, loses that, wins a tag team championship. Well done, Bron. But now you find yourself feuding with one of probably the lowest rated tag teams they still have, and these are the guys who haven't really have matches. They normally get thrown to the wolves, literally, in singles contests.
Yeah.
And they're always shilling shit. Like they're always backstage doing a Snickers ad or something like that for the PLEs. And Bron Breakker has found himself in a feud with these two, all because Maxime Dupree has swanned off with Austin Theory.
This is the same Bron Breakker who I'd like to remind you guys at Survivor Series last year in War Games pinned CM Punk cleanly.
Yeah,
the world champion at the time.
Yeah,
obviously he's world champion again, but so he was pretty much the number 1 heel on Raw after that, because he just pinned the world champion. Yep. Got himself a title shot in early January. Didn't win, but a lot of people thought he was going to. And people thought if he doesn't win, well, he's a shoo-in to win the Rumble, right? If he doesn't win that, he's going to win the Rumble. And the rumor was Punk will definitely be dropping the title to him. It just, they didn't know if it was going to be on Raw, if they were going to wait till WrestleMania to crown him. Then I guess fate steps in, which is nobody's fault, I suppose. And then he got a hernia, didn't he? So he got injured. So they eliminated him from the Royal Rumble right away because he couldn't do the match. And then obviously he didn't even make it back in time for WrestleMania. Well, he did, but only as a run-in. He wasn't able to actually wrestle at WrestleMania. And then he did beat Rollins. He won the first match between Breakker and Rollins. But then since then, Alan just lost and lost and lost. And now, Alan, Is he the most worthless member of the division now? Because you've got Logan Paul and also Austin Theory, and then you've got now Maxime Dupree, who is the new manager now that Heyman's left. Is Bron Breakker the third wheel now? In that
it appears that way. Yeah, it appears that way.
Wow,
it does appear that way. He's fallen off a cliff. I say fate can be a horrible thing, and unfortunately, he's a victim of it. He's a victim of fate. He could have been something massive, but fate had other plans for him, and now he's the third wheel in a once decent faction.
He was the leader after they kicked Rollins out. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
He became the leader of the division. He's gone from being the leader of the division with Paul Heyman as his manager, number 1 contender to the title, to being a tag team champion. And then what makes it worse, guys, is that he's only a tag team champion because Logan Paul's injured. If Logan Paul wasn't injured, it would be Logan Paul and Theory as the tag champions.
Exactly. He's more like the muscle now for Austin Theory.
Wow.
That's how I got it.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. He has to, right. So he's got to turn face. Then there's no way out. He's got to now turn face and destroy the Vision. Like he's got to turn face. Maybe after Bronson Reed comes back.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Should be seen. Probably SummerSlam. I would guess he'll make his return. Yeah,
he's got to turn face. Then that's the only way out for Bron Breakker now. Then he needs to literally turn on the Vision and be like, I used to be the leader, blah 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 blah. Now look what you've done to me. And then he needs to absolutely destroy them. He needs to absolutely destroy Austin Theory and Logan Paul.
That'll be Bron Breakker's feud going for the rest of the year.
Speaking of Logan Paul, very quickly, I also think his stock has lowered as well. Is it just a Vision? Is it just something that the Vision has just done to everyone? Logan Paul feels less important and like he's fallen away ever since he joined Division.
Yeah, I agree. He was really, really hated when he was on his own.
Yeah.
He used to bring his little cronies with him, if it had been KSI or.
And he came out with the drone. He came out with the drone and everything and all these things.
That's it. And he was this really cocky, arrogant heel, and and I loved him for that. I thought he was great, being so smarmy and arrogant. I thought it was great. I said, you've actually got this heel thing to a T. You know exactly how to run as a heel. And then since he joined Division, he's just been muted. It's like he's been neutered almost.
It's weird.
They gelded him.
Yeah. More proof that the Vision. I don't know if it's the worst faction of all time, but it's one of those factions that's going to be remembered in a couple of years as the absolute shits.
Secret Herb is the worst faction of all time, in my opinion.
That is bad, yeah. But I've just never seen a group destroy the credibility of so many people. Paul Heyman wants nothing to do with them because Paul Heyman is smart enough, and he is smart enough to know a sinking ship when he sees it. He knew ECW was screwed, and he appeared on Raw as a commentator before ECW even went under. So he knows a sinking ship when he sees it. So he's jumped off. Austin Theory is the only one whose stock might have been slightly. He's the only one who actually might have benefited from the Vision. He's the only one.
Yeah, he's doing well. I think Austin Theory is doing well. I mean, he's only taken losses, but via fuckery. You know, he lost the other day because he got the other week because he got brass knucks.
Yeah,
he's not in the Grayson Waller Club, what they called A-Town Down Under, wasn't it? Whether Grayson Waller is, I don't know, but
he's upgraded since then. He's certainly upgraded his position since.
Massively upgraded. Yeah. I mean, he's a former US champion, Austin Theory.
So there you go.
And he beat John Cena at WrestleMania, which makes me smile.
There you go, Alan. The Vision doesn't destroy everybody's career, just 95%.
Yeah, it's 95%.
So I'm going to say this, Alan. Fuck the Vision. That's what I think.
Fair enough. I mean, there's two other matches that I could see probably being announced.
Okay.
When I said tag title match, I meant the other titles, the ones held by R-Truth and Damien Priest that never get defended, by the way, ever.
I don't want to see them.
They had a confrontation with the War Raiders behind the scenes I think it was on SmackDown. I believe it was on SmackDown. So that match is going to happen. Whether it happens on SummerSlam or it happens on the AAA, because I know War Raiders are the AAA tag team champions.
Oh, okay.
So it could happen on either show. And I think another thing they're hinting at is Gunther versus Nick Aldis.
Yes. No. Yes. Right. Yeah. No. That you're right. Yeah. That is not. That is.
So not officially announced, but that's probably going with after the attack of Nick Aldis. That was the segment we forgot to mention. I should have picked up on it because we were too busy talking about Baron Corbin. But yeah, the SmackDown closed out last week with Nick Aldis being choked out by Gunther multiple times.
Yeah. That would be a SummerSlam, but Nick Aldis hasn't wrestled in a long time.
Yeah, it's been some years. There'll obviously be a caveat to this. It'd be like along the lines of, I've been told by management if I step in the ring with Gunther, my GM career is over. Because the rumor has it, Heyman's meant to be taken over as the SmackDown GM. Because obviously, when Brock Lesnar loses and retires, he's separated from the Vision. What else does Heyman do?
He won't. Yeah, right. That is the window because he won't have anything to do because Lesnar will be gone and he's not going to go back to the Vision.
And I can see Heyman he's a bit of a showman. You know, he's great on screen. He knows he's another one of those guys. He can play the crowd. He can play a great heel, and we haven't seen a heel GM in a long time. Not since the days of Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, not a proper heel. You've got like Adam Priest, which is like. He sometimes acts as a heel, but he's not a heel. He acts as he's kind of tweener. He's not a heel, but he can.
So yeah, I can see Heyman filling that hole of being the SmackDown GM. He'll obviously be told by upper management, you've got to cool things down the middle, but obviously you know what Heyman's like. He'll snake his way into things.
He'll favour the heels. Yeah, he'll favour.
Yeah, of course. That's about time.
Well, that is the SummerSlam card as it stands, and as Al said, there's probably going to be Aldis versus Gunther, Jade Cargill versus Charlotte. Oh, looks like that's going to be there as well. That's two more, so that would give you 8 matches, which probably isn't enough for a 2-night show. So I expect them to at least add another 2.
Yeah, should be at least 6 matches either side, because you have to think that's one night of SummerSlam is going to be filled with so many ads for DoorDash and Snickers and General Insurance and KFC and whoever else want to shill their crap during the SummerSlam event. There'll be plenty of that crap going on. Whatever movies are coming out, that's there too. What
we'll end with very quickly, because it is, like I say, it's already 8:10. very quickly, I did want to quickly mention it. Ticket sales for SummerSlam. Rumors are they've only managed to shift 25,000 tickets for each night.
Wow.
And the arena holds like I think it's like 50 or 60,000.
So well, not even half.
Yep. And people reckon it's just rumors, right? A lot of this stuff is rumors, guys. The numbers aren't rumors, but one of the rumors is that if Triple H is actually getting a lot of flack because they're like, well, hold on, we've put Femi versus Brock on the card now, Hell in a Cell, right? We've put Reigns versus Rollins, which a lot of people consider a big match. Me less so, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then Cody versus Punk, which is a big match because they haven't wrestled in like 15 years or whenever they've wrestled last. So that I can't say that they're not putting on big matches. They are. Now I think that's the worrying thing. They are actually putting on big matches. They are. They're not particularly half-assing the card. You can say that the weekly television is a bit half-assed, and I think that's a fair argument.
I agree.
But they are putting on big matches, so it's like, well, okay, so these tickets aren't selling.
Is it the prices? Is it the price too high?
Well, this is what I mean. Is it again TKO being greedy, or is this just the way? Is this just the way of the world? Is this just 2026? Nobody's got any fucking money anymore.
Yeah, there's that as well. There's obviously a cost of living crisis. If you come to where I work, you probably think no, there's not. But the way I see these WWE pay-per-views, I look at WWE pay-per-view, PLE, whatever, as YouTube and YouTube Premium. You go on YouTube, you get ads. That's if you watch it on TV. YouTube Premium is sitting in the arena watching the matches.
That's a big jump in price to get the
exactly, and you've got to pay a premium fee to sit in the crowd. Maybe you might just about see the ring over everyone's heads, and you don't get any ads.
More likely, you'll be watching the big video screens, I'd imagine, probably instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you can do at home.
Yeah, it's true. So I'd rather sit at home, really. Unless I'd only go to a WWE event if I was at ringside. I wouldn't even bother thinking about being in the stands.
The worrying thing is as well, and even though we don't talk about AEW that much, they are also struggling to sell tickets for their big all-in show, which is in England.
It's in Wembley. Third, fourth year in a row.
I think they were. I don't think it's in a row. I think they went to Texas last year. I think
because remember they have all in, that then like a week later they have all out.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that all the all-in events are all at Wembley.
I think 3 of them been. I think this is the 3rd one. I think one of them hasn't. One of them, I think they actually went to Texas because there was a lot of discussion about it on them that they didn't do England last year. But I mean, so
yeah, you're right. 2025 of them was in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think we don't need to go into the AEW stuff because neither me or Alan watch that much of it. I keep general tabs on it, but I watch the occasional segment if there's somebody I like. Especially, I'm a big fan of MJF. I'd love him in the WWE just because I think he'll be treated better. But I do follow what because I really like his promo, so I will follow what he does, for example. But it is worrying that maybe it's just a wrestling problem, Al, because if they're struggling to shift tickets as well, then that suggests maybe it's just a wrestling problem. It's just
it could be.
The industry just is cold, and it happens. There are years in history that are like this. You get periods of time where the interest level just drops off, and maybe this is one of those years. It was there last year as well, and I think maybe there's a lot of problems anyway. I guess that's it, Al. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
No, I'm good. No, that's actually it. In terms of wrestling, other wrestling I've got is game news, but again, that's probably the other channel. I can probably mention it if you want me to. And that's just simply that 2K have announced their WrestleMania 43 pack for coming out August 19th, which will feature personas of Cody Rhodes, Lyra Valkyrie, I think it is, and Liv Morgan. But Liv Morgan comes with a Trouble song, which I'm not really sold on.
Oh God,
I just think it sounds tacky.
It does. Well, my feelings on 2K. I mean,
Yeah,
they're gonna have to come up with something special for me to get it next year, Al.
Yep. Give me story designer, and I'm back. At the moment, the only thing I'm hearing that is going to coax me back, and the thing is, I feel dirty. The fact that I'm actually, I said to this on the Play Pouch channel, which is our other one, our gaming channel. So cheap little plug there. So go and join. And I feel, because I said this before, I don't want to buy 2K27 because I think the business practices of 2K26 are shit, absolute dog shit, fucking terrible. In fact, I don't mind the gameplay, but it's business practice. I can't be a part of that, and I won't give them any more money. I bought the top edition. I don't have to pay anymore. I shouldn't have to pay anything for them anymore.
Damn right.
But the thing I feel dirty about is because I heard a rumor about who they were going to put into 2K27, and if this is true, I will crawl back like a lowly little dog, and I'll put my tail to my legs. I'll duck my head, and I will just lap it up.
It's going to be Ted, isn't it?
They're rumored to put Ted back in, but not just Ted. They're going to put IRS in too.
For those who don't know, Alan, me as well, but probably a little bit less so for me. I did love Ted, but I think Alan absolutely adored Ted, whereas I just really, really loved him.
Oh, he's an amazing wrestler, amazing. The heel work, the mat work, the promo stuff. Ted had it all. He really had it all.
Yes, and he should have won the world title. He should have.
Yeah,
but he didn't.
So yeah, I can see myself crawling back to 2K27. If they, I won't pre-order anything, but if I see them announced in the roster, I'm there. Sorry, just so I can give people the right of clothes on. IRS has not been in a game since like WrestleMania on the Mega Drive. That's the last time I saw IRS in a game. I could be wrong. If anyone out there wants to correct me, by all means, please do. That's the last time I actually saw him on a console game, at least.
What would you do, Alan, if they made a Ted showcase?
Oh, that'd be fun.
They won't, because they rarely ever do for heels. But
no, they don't. Ted's not a big enough star anymore. If this was in the 90s, if 2K was in the production values it has today, made in the 90s, for sure, Ted would probably get his own.
Alan, they have nobody to do a showcase off.
No, they've done Roman Reigns, they've done Punk.
Who have they got? Tell me someone. Brock. Would they do on a Brock?
They probably could do Brock, actually. Brock is the only one left, I think. There's Seth Rollins, but I don't think Brock is the only real big star they have, I think. I mean, they can't even do Hogan. I mean, I'd love them to do a Hogan one. That'd be great.
I think they're running out, dude.
Honor the Hulkster. But yeah, Brock is the only one I can really see. They've done Rey Mysterio already. Yeah, they've done Rey Mysterio, so he's done. Thank God. That wasn't a fun playthrough. They've done John Cena. I think they've done him twice. John Cena. Obviously they've done Punk.
Have they done one for Randy Orton?
No, actually they haven't.
Oh,
Randy Orton. That's another thing I've actually heard, and people have been asking this for years. People wanted to have, remember his original theme he had before he had voices?
Hey, nothing you can say. Yeah, burning my light.
Burning my light. That's right. For those who own the ringside passes, you can get Burning My Light, Randy Orton, in ringside's pass season 4. That's what I've heard.
Interesting.
And apparently he's at the level 40 reward, but yeah, he's there. Just like Slow Chemical Kane was level 40 of Ring Pass 3. Ringside Pass, sorry, 3.
They can add this music when they want to. When they want to add the music, they can.
When they get the rights. I mean, they won't bother put the original Demolition theme in, but what do I know? I'm just a gamer. I just pay for the bloody game. They're just sticking some cover version
that is so that is so shit that they didn't put it in the proper. Yeah, it's crap.
But I bet you next year, because obviously Demolition, more or less DLC normally guarantees them into the next game.
The next year game.
Most of the time, unless you're Zeus, of course.
Zeus.
Yeah, he was in 2K.
Hulk.
He was DLC for 23. He never made it into 24. Was he 24 25?
Alan, I'm calling me shocked that there's not a market in 2026 for Zeus to be included in 2K.
If Beefcake Barber was in there, yeah. I've said that correctly, by the way. Beefcake Barber.
Yeah.
So yeah, Demolition should be automatically qualified to go into 2K27, and I'm hoping, for the love of God, They sort their music out and pay the Rick Derringer estate what they fucking want, and let us have that proper kick-ass theme of Demolition. You know, another theme that's in the fucking game. I don't even know what this is. Sid's theme. Can anyone answer me what is Sid's theme in those games? Is it his WCW theme? Because I've never heard it. I've never heard that theme before. When I think Sid Justice, I think the that's the theme I heard.
I don't know. I don't know what he's. Okay, so in WCW during his first run, he was a part of the Skyscrapers with Dan Spivey, and then later on as and teamed up the Undertaker as well.
As Teddy Long, the manager, really.
Teddy Long was the manager, yeah. Then he joined the Horsemen for about a year, and then he left, and then he did his WWF. But then once he went back to WCW, he was teaming with Vader as the Master of the Power Bombs. They were called, which is cool. Can't remember his music during that period. I'll be honest with you. It could be maybe that's where he got it from. So I actually would have to check that. Maybe that's worth you having a look out. Have a look for his themes for when he was. So you'd be looking at the year would be 93. So look for have a look for Sid Vicious is what he would called 1993, and maybe that'll be the song. I don't know. And then obviously Sid did go back in like 1999. And I don't know what his music was in WCW in 1999, but those are the only two things I can think of where that music could have come from. Either he's 1993 or 1999.
I just don't know why they didn't use his music for Sid Justice for his WWF run. It was just Jim Johnston, surely.
Probably because it's probably. I think that there's some kind of copyright of Jim Johnson because he doesn't. There is something there. There's why can Rick Rude's music not be used? I don't know. Why?
That pisses me off as well.
There's something going on, obviously, with certain tracks.
Anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Video. Anyway. So
Play pouch for that kind of stuff, guys. Play pouch. Go over there. Loads of content.
Yeah. But as for wrestling, that's it for another week. We will be back. I don't know who. Myself, Alan, Com, and Rebel.
Probably me again.
Probably be me and Alan again. Hopefully, we'll try and get Rebel and Com. Bless them, but they do work weird shifts, both Rebel and Com, so it's difficult sometimes to get them around for the nights. But me and Alan probably will be here if nothing else. Will we be talking about the fallout at Saturday night's main event, and we'll be talking about anything that happens on SmackDown or Raw, and then that will be the last chance for a little preview of SummerSlam. Even though we've done a little bit, we'll probably know the full card probably by then, so we can talk about it and get some predictions going for next week. But thank you again, Al.
No worries, thank you.
This is the Tequila the Body Ventura, and this is the Berserker, according to Alan's screen.
Huss.
Do you like it, Savage? Do you like it? Yeah.
You win by count out. I'm going to kill it and take up the sword.
How silly, guys, that there is a character in wrestling who his finisher alone meant he could never win a title.
Yeah, throw him over the top rope. That was his finishing move.
Because he tried to win every match by count out, and so that means he could never win a title.
Yep.
Make it make sense. It can't. But it's fantastic because of it. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you again. We'll see you most likely this time next week. So take care and bye for now. And as Vince would say, what a maneuver!
Yeah.
Where's your lexicon?